knowing that there are children around me having unnecessary, damaging penile modification surgeries that excise their precious tissue, right? That's how I look at this now. I'm like, this is such unique tissue on the human body. It's erotically charged, right? It stimulates your brain in a unique way. This is important, precious tissue. That's just being robbed from a child in a violent way, right? They're strapping these children down, maybe not always strapped down, held down, whatever, and cutting away at this very unique and important tissue from their body. That is completely destabilizing for me psychologically. And I want to make it clear that I absolutely care about the infants and the juveniles that are being affected by this, but that understanding also affects me and how uncomfortable I am with that. I don't feel comfortable knowing that's going on. And it destabilizes me psychologically. Of course, I care that it's happening to infants, but I also care that I don't ever feel like I can live comfortably. It's that much of an issue for me. And I have that deep of an understanding on this topic. And I would fight regardless, right? If I had these own personal concerns, but that's why I fight so hard, is because it is a wild situation going on right now. That parents think that and doctors think that they have any footing to stand on to remove these structures from children. And when I really do think about it, it is the darkest thought that I've ever had, right? The understanding of what's going on, it's like the greatest pain that I've ever known in my life. It is so disgusting what they're doing. It is so damaging. It is so violent. It is so perverse. I can't live comfortably. And when I speak out about it and people trivialize me and diminish the situation and things like that, it's like I'm in a prison in my mind. Every day of my life, I suffer from this understanding that children are being harmed in this way. And I continuously feel a state of unease that never seems to fully dissipate. It's just there in the background. You know, there's so many issues going on in the world, right? So many issues, but this one's so personal to me, and I have such a deep understanding of it, and it's so unnecessary. The solution is so easy, right? You just stop cutting children's penises. It's so easy. And I really, when I do speak out about it and I do share my feelings, at least a lot of the times in my community, they will trivialize what's going on. And I am vulnerable about it, right? I'm like, I've been harmed by this. I know other men who have been harmed by this. I represent men when I speak with you that have been harmed by this. And they just throw that testimony out to the side and say, I'm doing this to my child. You're not going to convince me. My child, my choice. And understanding the consequences of this, like I do, it's legitimately heartbreaking. I go back and I've sat in the shower and cried. I've sat in my bed and cried, like, please, I hope this person does not do this to their child. The consequences of this, they don't understand. They don't know what they're doing. And it really does drive me insane. Really, it really does. And insane probably isn't the right word, but destabilized is. I can't live comfortably. So I did want to share my thoughts surrounding kind of what you shared there and how I feel about this topic. I think that rarely gets shared, is how men feel who have been affected by this feel about the situation that's going on, and why we really go and out of our ways, certain men do, and speak out about this and risk everything, our personal brand, our professional brand, because we know the consequences and we know how unnecessary this is and why it shouldn't be done. But we also feel it. It's not just a sympathy thing. We feel the pain that's going to be inflicted on the child. We feel that, and anyone who has any sense of justice is going to begin speaking out about that once they really understand the true consequences.